through, especially that turn, of how things are going so far this morning?
Yeah, I mean, turn 19 is obviously interesting. We're going out past the curb, but that's the rule, so you got to use it to be fast. Yeah, and the rest of the track, I mean, it's a difficult track. It's very technical. It's hard to get the car right. But I felt like we got in a pretty good window that session. Felt like we found where we need to be.
You did get some laps in earlier last month around the open test that we had here at Circuit of the Americas. How important is all of this track time in a new venue where not many of the field have raced here, nobody in an IndyCar at least?
Yeah, it's funny, like you can do all these miles in testing and come back and it's different for the race, but I mean you get the basics down and you get some good data and such to go away and think about it, but definitely running a different package to what I ran at the test, and so yeah, we'll just keep massaging on it, seeing you know, it's going to be tight and quali as it always is, and I think the weather's looking pretty good actually, so it's like a nice weekend. That makes things great.
Joined also by our second fastest driver of the day, Felix Rosenqvist, driving the number 10 NTT Data Chip Ganassi Racing Honda. Felix, your impressions of the track so far? We were just chatting with Will that everyone seems to be using every single part of the track that they can. How have you found the track so far this morning and afternoon?
Yeah, it's a bit different from when we were here testing, definitely. Also with turn 19 opened up, it's pretty different kind of third sector going on there. But yeah, you know, I think main thing is the tires. The tires seem to go off quite a lot, so managing that's going to be the key. Everyone just got like 1 or 2 laps on the reds, and then it's a big question mark how they're going to behave in the race. We got some laps on them in the warm-up session, but yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one because yeah, it's a big question mark like it always is in this series, and that's what's kind of exciting. So yeah, but I think we felt pretty good so far.
Lots of smiles on everybody's face, learning this new track and seeing this new venue, and you certainly don't know what to expect from the race, but what can you expect from qualifying tomorrow?
Well, I think this track is very different to St. Pete. It's much easier to get a gap here. Hopefully it's going to be less red flags here as well because you have so much runoff. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good, fair qualifying where everyone can get a lap in, but yeah, be surprised sometimes how much traffic you can get on such a big track. So yeah, no, but let's hope it's a good, fair session and quickest man comes up on top.
Absolutely. Questions? Yes, we'll the back.
Two questions. One question is from the first day of practice here, what do you expect? Is there any problem in the race, or can there any problem in the race concerning traffic, overtaking?
Yeah, it's because the tires degrade so much. I think it'll create some racing. I think there'll be some mistakes, and it's always hard to say. You know, you see what happens in these series when they get so competitive and so tight. Basically, everyone almost runs the same speed, and that's what makes it difficult to pass. But you know, in IndyCar's at that point, but being a new track, no one knows what to expect for the race, so we'll see.
A question for you, Felix. For unknown tracks, especially here, how do you prepare? Did you do some working or studying in the simulator?
Actually not for this track. We are a bit limited on which tracks we can run in the simulator, so as we did 2 days of testing here, we felt that was enough. I mean, to be fair, like on this level of motorsport, you only need like a session, and then you probably know a track pretty well to be, you know, within 98% of where you need to be. So the simulator is mainly for, I'd say, a completely new track, or if you need to work on something else. So yeah, we felt like we were more than prepared after the test. It's a different track anyways now, so.
Yeah.
Other questions?
I guess for both of you, with you running off the track into the runoff area or whatever you call it, in the next to last turn, you're going way out and coming back in. Are they going to allow you to race that way, or is that only allowed for qualifying and practice.
No, that's it. That's how we're racing. Yeah.
So that might get kind of interesting out there, right?
It does, yeah. Personally, I think it would be better if there was a track limit, because it's harder then, and it's about getting the corner right. Right now, you just kind of, you still got to get the corner right, but I just think a track limit would be better.
What's your opinion, Bill?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a fan of track limits. That's why I like racing in America, because you don't really have track limits. It's always like you go off and there's grass or gravel or a wall. So, and here we come into that problem where we have the track limits. So, I'm kind of a fan for opening it up, because then it's going to be the same for everyone. They're not going to look at like this guy was 1 millimeter over the line or not, which is a bit ridiculous. So, it looks pretty weird, but it is what it is, and they said it's like that for the weekend, and that's the way we're gonna run. So yeah, fair enough. Same for everyone.
Just one more question. With the long lap times here, do you anticipate this possibly being a fuel saving race, or is it really going to be wide open?
Yeah, actually, what happens when they build a tire that degrades a lot, that prevents fuel saving, because degrades so much that it's not worth going long, and that's probably what's going to happen here.
Have you guys had a chance to try out Bristol Pass, and you know how much extra fuel that burns up around here? How do you have to build that into your calculations, given the length of the straight? I think it's a 20-second Bristol Pass.
I haven't tried it yet, because it was red flag off this morning when you were allowed to run it, so I think just a couple of guys in the beginning were able to run it.
Good.
Jared?
With the announcement yesterday of the $100,000 bonus to anyone that wins a pole and the race, do you feel, that kind of plays into your hand, and maybe that gives more incentive motivation for other drivers to knock you off the game?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. Everyone's going for pole. It doesn't matter how much money it was, even if it was $1 million. Everyone's putting as much in as they can, because they want to get pole and they want to win a race. You're never out there thinking this is worth $100,000. You're just out there like wanting to beat everyone. Yeah, but very nice if you happen to do it. Be a big dinner. I think I'd go to some really nice sushi joint here. Invite a few people.
Steve?
Obviously, the track limits at turn 19 change how you approach that corner. Does it change how you approach the final corner too?
Yeah, quite a lot. It's pretty slippery going into there. I don't know. I thought it would rubber up, but it seems every time you come into there, you're locking stuff, and the line, it gets a bit like you're almost braking in like a S shape. Yeah, so it's two different corners from the test, definitely.
Will, you ran a decently lengthy session on the reds there in the warm-up. Ton of degradation, what you expected?
Yeah, definitely. They definitely go away. Not terrible, but they do. You will be struggling. Someone's on better tires. They're going to get you. There's no question. Definitely. They definitely degrade, and it's a good thing. It really is. It helps racing. Yeah, I doubt it. It's not worth a full pit stop, but she'll be a 3-stopper.
Will, after your video the other day, I think 100,000 might pay for your wife's Amazon Prime.
Some of her Amazon Prime. Oh man, $15 a week's enough for me. I can live on that.
Yeah. Hey, the way this track goes up and down, elevation changes, all kinds of different turns. 60 laps around here are going to be like getting in a boxing ring with somebody.
It's not bad. Like it's not like Detroit beat you up. It's there's definitely some. It's not bumps. It's undulations.
Yeah.
Bottom out. It's not terrible though. It's okay. It's a very nice track. That's the beauty of IndyCar. We race on some of the most brutal tracks. We race on smooth tracks. It's just such a mixed series. It's pretty cool. There's nothing like it in the world. You got to be so good at so many disciplines.
I agree. It's I mean, we cannot complain about the bumps here coming from St. Pete. You know, it feels like a massage going around here compared to that. So, no, it's very smooth. It's probably one of the smoothest tracks we run, except like Indy Oval or something like that. So, yeah, no complaints.
It's just the elevation change. That kind of.
It's not. It's just on the straights, really. So it doesn't. You don't really feel it in a corner. Like it doesn't give you a massive compression or something like that. It's just really in turn one. You go up the hill. Like when you're in the car, you don't really think about it. To be fair.
For Felix, I understand you did a test at the Texas Oval, and I was just wondering if that was your first experience on an oval. I think will tell you that he loves ovals, but I don't think he felt that when he first started.
Yeah, so that was the first time in an IndyCar I tried an oval. I did 2 ovals in Indy Lights back in 16, which was not good. Like I really hated the ovals back then. And I just tried to like reset and, you know, go back to 0. And, you know, I'm working with the best guys in the business with that, with, you know, with Dario and with my team, Chip Ganassi Racing. And yeah, I think I couldn't have better teachers. So I feel like now I have a different mindset to it, and I'm pretty hungry to go racing. And I felt like I had confidence. So it was a good test for sure.
Any other questions? Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Feel free to hang out.
Yeah, I don't know.